Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have arrived at the Night Swim warehouse. As you can tell from all these boxes and these empty shelves, we are preparing for our 2023 collection. I'm so excited. We're doing things kind of differently this year, but you guys will see. You'll see. I'm not gonna spoil anything. We have a side room right here, and I moved a bunch of our older inventory, which there's not much left, but it's all in there. It's all in our sale section on our website. So check it out if you need some swimwear sooner or you want some discounted suits. These are the softest, silkiest men's swim shorts that have ever existed. We have them on sale for $24, which is insane. That's a steal. We're not even making any money. Oh my God. I just got attacked. Packed up all the orders, drove them to the post office because when we don't do launches, I don't schedule Canada Post to come pick up the orders. I brought the orders to the post office. As I'm about to go in, there's a Canada Goose standing outside. If you guys have never seen one before, they're terrifying. They look like mini ostriches and they act like mini ostriches. You know how ostriches are actually kind of like vicious? So are Canada geese. So I'm carrying this massive box of orders and I'm like going into the post office. It literally starts hissing at me as I'm going in. It's as if it's guarding the door. So I go really quickly, I get into the post office, I drop off the box, I'm leaving the store. It takes a running start. It literally launches itself. It's huge. Their wings, they're big. They're big birds. It flies at me. I scream. I start running. It like swoops down, but I'm quick. Zooted out of there, made it to my car. But I got attacked by a bird today. I went to the grocery store right after, grabbed some chicken breasts. The main reason I went is because I needed to get sweet potato. This is ginormous because I'm making chili in the slow cooker. My boyfriend likes this Fairlife lactose-free skim milk. I don't know, it has a lot of protein apparently. And then I got an eggplant because I am obsessed with roasting vegetables in the oven with olive oil and salt. Got some bananas for my boyfriend, mini chocolate chips for the protein balls that I've been making lately. I have the recipe on my TikTok. And now, you know what I desperately need? A coffee. We went to the mall this weekend. We restocked our coffee section. Plenty to choose from today. I think I'm gonna go with Inizio. Why do we keep this up here? You know what I didn't do this morning is my breath work. I've downloaded a new app. I'll review it and tell you guys more about it if I really like it, because I find sometimes meditation apps are just not good. Like Headspace, I can't stand, but I'm trying out a new app. You do have to pay for it. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you guys to get it if I don't like it. There's breath work on it. There's like yoga on it. There's a daily meditation. I'm on a 1-day streak right now and I need to do it today because I'm really focused on breath work right now versus meditation. I wanna improve my breathing. And I notice a lot of the time that I'm holding my breath. I'm always holding my breath. And I've also noticed when I'm working out, for like 4 reps, I'll be like, oh my God, I didn't breathe. I feel like I breathe really shallow too. Like I can't get a deep breath. Like it's like, it just like stops and I can't. I'm just not happy with my breathing quality. So I'm trying to get into breath work. I really like this one. What is today? It's today the 28th. If you guys watched my 10 Habits video where I talked about this Stoic book, also it's linked on my Amazon. I did like February better than March. Life without a design is erratic. It's the chaos that ensues from not having a plan. The Super Bowl winning coach, Bill Walsh, used to avoid this risk by scripting the beginning of his games. Today's Stoic was about having a plan. And I do have a plan for this video today. We are gonna talk all things fitness journey. But first, we make chili. had that call with the accountants. If someone goes to our website, I want them to see an ad after. I want some retargeting, just like the basics.
Simple things.
I don't know much about prospecting, but that's like getting new customers. I don't know how well that works. Little camera switch because I'm popping out to meet my friend. We're grabbing coffee.
Like no blessings, which I was really surprised.
I just had coffee with Morgan. Morgan is the coach at my CrossFit gym. So she is the first coach I ever had for CrossFit. If we were to come out with an introductory CrossFit program, how would you want that presented to you and what information would you need? Let me know. I haven't really talked about my fitness journey in depth in a while. If you're new, you probably have not heard my fitness history. I want to update you guys on all things fitness journey related. Let's do a quick review of my relationship with fitness over the past 10 or so years. I am 27 now. I first started working out in high school. In grade 10, I believe it was grade 10, I got braces. Before that, I had no issues with food. I was conscious about my body kind of thing, but I didn't really think about it that much. I ate whatever I wanted. I would come home after school every day. I would always have a bunch of crackers with Nutella. Like I loved that. Like that was my go-to snack. And I didn't really think about what I was eating. It was just like whatever. I get braces in grade 10 and I can't stand food being stuck in my teeth, in my braces. It was the most disgusting thing to me. I was just so foreign. It was grossing me out. So I ate yogurt and soup for the first couple weeks, if not more. And as you can imagine, eating yogurt and soup is not a very sustainable, healthy diet. So I began losing weight and I noticed that I was losing weight and I liked it. And then other people were noticing and I liked that even more. I am getting these positive affirmations basically from people who are noticing that I've like gotten really skinny and I'm loving it. And at this time I was also doing workouts in my bedroom at home because I was in grade 10, so I wasn't really going to the gym. Doing Fitness Blender a lot. I feel like they're triggering for me now, but they have like a calorie counter. So it's like you've burned this many calories kind of thing. This was also the time period where Pro Ana Tumblr was huge. Tumblr was the worst thing ever for my mental health. Gen Zs, you guys probably don't even know what Tumblr is. It's kind of like Pinterest. Everyone would just have like their own blog page and then you can like repost each other's stuff. It was very similar to Pinterest. All my feed was Pro Ana, and Ana stands for anorexia. Pro Ana content. It was all like idolizing being super skinny, idolizing not eating. Like it was actually effed up, the stuff that was on there. There was like crazy diets on there. There was like ABC diet and like there's just these weird diets. There was one that was like you eat 500 calories one day and then 800 calories the next day and then like 200 calories the next day and you like cycle these calories. It was just so insanely unhealthy. In grade 11 and 12, I obviously did start eating solids. I didn't eat just like yogurt and soup forever, but I was not eating a lot. I was barely eating. I would get pissed if my parents tried to make me eat anything. I would skip breakfast before school all the time. I wouldn't bring a lunch. Like it was really bad. I was so moody and I couldn't sleep at night. I was freezing all the time. Then one night, I like distinctively remember the exact night. I can put myself back in that exact scenario. I had a golden Oreo and that hit of sugar, I had been depriving myself for so long. I was so starving. And when I had that hit of sugar, it was like a drug. And once my parents were asleep, once my brothers were asleep, I went back downstairs and I ate like 2 rows of golden Oreos. And then after, I absolutely hated myself. Those Oreos started the binge eating cycle. The restrict yourself and don't eat anything, and then binge on something, feel bad about it, restrict yourself again, get to a point where you can't handle it anymore, binge, restrict, binge, restrict. It's a constant cycle and you cannot get out of that cycle until you stop the restriction. Let's go sit down and we'll talk about the rest of the story. Then I went to university and I tried to get a handle on the binge restrict cycle through macros. So if it fits your macros, track your calories, MyFitnessPal, nightmare. Nightmare. For someone who's recovering from binge eating, tracking your food is probably the worst thing you could do. But I still wanted a way to control the amount of food that I was eating and try to stay under a certain amount so that I wouldn't be gaining weight. At this time also, I was starting to get into the gym more. This is kind of like two paths. I'm trying to explain like my food journey and my workout journey kind of at the same time. And I don't specifically remember the workout journey and how it overlapped with the food journey. The food I can remember distinctly, but the workouts kind of are a blur, like the timeline. The reason I started bodybuilding, this I remember like to the moment. I was in my room, it was second year university. I was in my room by myself on YouTube and I came across Nikki Blacketer and Christian Guzman. I started watching their fitness vlogs together and I was like, Nikki looks amazing. Like she's so like toned, because that's the word that I could think of back then, like toned and lean, and she's lifting heavy and she looks beautiful and gorgeous and stunning, and I want to be like her. Nikki and Christian's videos got me to start bodybuilding. Literally all throughout university, I was so trapped in the binge restrict cycle, and I literally did not think I could ever change and ever get better. I thought, I'm gonna be like this forever. I'm gonna constantly be worrying about calories and macros and tracking my food, and I would never, ever track my food again. You could not pay me to download MyFitnessPal. I'm sure it works for some people and macros work for other people totally fine. But if you are someone like me who has come from a binge restrict past, you cannot use a macro counting app. Also in university, because I didn't have my parents around all the time to be like, why aren't you eating? Eat your dinner. I could easily skip meals. And some days I would eat no meals. I would just have one big binge session where I'd sit there, zone out watching a show on my laptop. I would eat a ton of Reese's or a ton of like literally peanut butter from the jar. I used to eat entire jars of peanut butter. Entire jars of peanut butter. And I wonder why I have digestive issues now. Like maybe the entire jar of peanut butter that you would eat. So I would eat that and then eat nothing else the rest of the day. Like I was probably so low on all my micronutrients. It was not good. My mental health was garbage because your mental health is tied directly to your gut health. And every time I'd binge, I'd walk over to the gym and I'd start doing cardio for 2 hours. And it was just such a horrible cycle to be in. Let's go back to the beginning, bodybuilding. So again, that was second year university. I was probably like 19 years old at the time. And I started bodybuilding in the gym and I absolutely fell in love with it. I hate steady state cardio. I actually physically can't do steady state cardio for more than 3 minutes. Like sometimes my warm-ups are supposed to be 5 minutes on like a bike. I actually can't do more than 3. My brain needs to be distracted. If I'm doing steady state, I'm just thinking. I don't want that. Now, I do think bodybuilding had a huge role in helping me get over the I need to be skinny, I need to be tiny thought process that I had before. So all through high school, beginning of university, it was I need to be as small as possible, as teeny tiny as possible. And then as soon as I started bodybuilding, it was no, I want to be like shredded and lean, which it's kind of the same thing just with more muscle, but at least I was okay with growing certain aspects of my body versus just trying to be tiny. I do still love bodybuilding training now. I still do aspects of that in my training, but strictly bodybuilding is about looks. It's about aesthetics. It's in the title, bodybuilding. You are literally building your body to look a certain way. I do agree it's completely, you can do bodybuilding for mental health as well, but most people who are doing bodybuilding are doing it for some sort of aesthetic reason. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look a certain way or training to look a certain way. But if you're working out just to look a certain way and not because you want to feel better and live longer and everything like that, I'd maybe reevaluate. Then, F45 came along and I fell in love with that too. I have always loved high intensity, like quick movements. I am a sprinter, not a marathoner. Then I tried to find a balance between like bodybuilding and F45, but kind of expensive to be doing both because then you're paying for 2 gym memberships. Then COVID hit. Right before COVID, I was bodybuilding a little bit more. I had kind of stopped. Actually, let's rewind to right before COVID because I was doing F45 and bodybuilding, and then I stopped doing F45 for a while. And I went back to just kind of strictly bodybuilding. I wasn't really doing any cardio, which not great because I do thrive off of having some sort of cardio or some sort of like aerobic exercise. It's good for you. It's good for your heart. It's good for your longevity. Like I used to be anti-cardio and I've probably posted about it before, like F cardio, I'm just gonna like lift weights. No, I think you do need a balance. You do need a little bit of both, even if your cardio is just walking. I had gone back to bodybuilding more, then COVID hit. Gyms closed everywhere. In Canada, gyms closed for like 2 years. That was not great. But because I had that F45 background, that's when I started my YouTube workout with me videos. They were very similar to like an F45 class. And I was doing that type of training at home. So there wasn't really much weights, not really any resistance. It was more all body weight. Looking back now at videos, I was like, I was so tiny, but at the time, I didn't think I was tiny. Body dysmorphia is insane. It's insane. We will get to that more because I have more updates on that. Then here comes CrossFit, which is the style of training I do now. If you don't know what CrossFit is, it's kind of a combination of bodybuilding with strength training, Olympic lifting, gymnastics, and F45. Literally packaged up all the things I've liked to do over the years, put it into a style of training and called it CrossFit. I didn't want to do it at first. So our friends, they started going to a CrossFit gym called Full Send. They were like, you guys have to come try this. Like, it's addictive. You're going to love it. And we were like, we're bodybuilders. We're not doing CrossFit. Like, ew. So I feel like a lot of bodybuilders look down on CrossFit. They think it's stupid. They think it's dumb. They think it's lame. I was there, but I tried it and I was like, oh, I get it now. This is all the forms of exercise that I like doing combined into one. One of the questions I get a lot is why did I switch from bodybuilding to CrossFit? And it's simply because our friends convinced us to try it and I ended up liking it a lot. Something that I find very different from CrossFit and bodybuilding is that bodybuilding you're focused on either like the scale, like how much you weigh, how big your muscles are getting, how lean you're getting, training just shoulders today to grow my shoulders. I'm training glutes to grow my glutes so that they're bigger and look a certain way. Whereas CrossFit, it's like I'm training to learn a new skill. I'm training to lift a heavier weight. I'm training to beat my time from last month. Your goals are so different. I'll never say never, but I don't think I would ever go back to strictly bodybuilding without anything else. I would need some sort of HIIT or some sort of cardio. I just need other forms of training versus strictly bodybuilding. That brings us to now. So let's talk about literally right now where I'm at. Today I am on day 170 of the program that I pay for. The CrossFit program is called HWPO, Hard Work Pays Off. It's by Matt Fraser. He's the guy who won the CrossFit Games a bunch of times. Backtrack. When I first went to Full Send, I started training with Morgan. She's the gal that I had coffee with this morning and mentioned us possibly coming out with a CrossFit program together. I started by doing the classes, the 60-minute classes, and I got to a point where I was like, I need more time to work on more of my skills, and that's why I switched over to doing this program. Anyways, so I'm doing that program, and to be honest, it's hard as hell. And that is what I like about it, but also what might not be good about it for me and my lifestyle. Right now, I'm trying to focus more on listening to my body and focusing on recovery because I think I have caused some inflammation in my body, just from the high stress that these types of workouts can put on your body. And now I am making an assumption. I don't know if this is true, but I've just noticed over the past year or so, I'm just puffy. My face like holds onto a lot of water. My eyes get really puffy underneath because I'm not getting proper like fluid drainage in my face. Like I feel inflamed, and I can't blame CrossFit because I don't know if that's the cause, but it could be. So right now what I'm trying to do is focus more on overall health, enjoying what I'm doing, feeling good, because I love going to the gym like every day. Not every day. I do take 1 to 2 days off every week. I'm training hard 5 days a week, and it is a lot. So I'm trying to focus on recovery more. I just bought some hot yoga passes. I've been enjoying every once in a while switching out one of my CrossFit workouts for a hot yoga class. I started taking glutamine. I'm trying to eat more protein. I'm trying to stretch more. I'm working on my breath work, like I mentioned. I've been working really hard on getting more vegetables into my diet because through macro counting and all that, this happens to a lot of people because you're so focused on the numbers, you're not thinking about what's actually in your food. Oh, I don't want to have an avocado because there's like however many grams of fat in that. I'd rather have a protein bar that's processed, you know? So I think that happens a lot with people who count their macros is they're not eating nutritious whole foods or vegetables. So I'm eating more vegetables now. I'm trying to like diversify my diet. I'm trying to make sure my hormones are good. Like I'm really just focused on overall health and well-being. And I think my relationship with fitness is the best it's ever been right now. But I will say, the body dysmorphia, she's been coming in hot lately. She has been raging lately. I'm gonna grab my phone and see if you guys have any specific questions that relate to my fitness journey or this topic. Do you genuinely not care about how you look anymore? Asking because I need tips. LOL, I care too much. I have been battling with myself for a while about this, and I haven't really wanted to talk about it because I know that I fit the beauty standard of being a size small, size extra small. So I don't like talking about that or talking down on myself. I also just don't like verbalizing negativity towards myself, but we're gonna talk about this. So a couple weeks ago, I was on my TikTok and someone had commented on one of my older videos. I'll actually put it on the screen here so you can see it. Someone commented on one of these videos, so I just like saw it pop up. I clicked on it and I was like, oh my God, I look so different now. I have gained a lot of muscle and probably some fat. I feel so much bigger now. I'm not saying I'm big. I know I'm still quite small, but in comparison to that video that was like 1 or 2 years ago, I was so like little, and I was looking at it and I was like, oh, I look so like cute and small and like dainty, and like my arms are so like little and I don't have any like big trap muscles. And it like triggered me because then I looked at a video that I had just filmed and I was like, okay, I can see like cellulite all over the backs of my legs. My traps are a lot bigger now and my arms are a lot bigger now. I literally gained inches around my waist. And I've also noticed my sports bras are so tight. So every time I'm putting on a sports bra, I'm just reminded like, I'm not as small as I used to be. And that's very triggering for someone who at one point, all they cared about was being as small as possible. It's been really weird lately. I've been having very good days and very bad days of like, do I have to quit CrossFit? Is it just like making me gain weight and making me inflamed and making me just like uglier? Like I've literally had days like that. And then I'm like, but I love doing it. I love it. Like I love doing the gymnastics movements and climbing up a rope. Like when in normal training are you gonna be climbing up a rope to the ceiling? My weights have gone up like crazy. My strength, this was a question actually someone asked from Discord. Can you include your weight progression? Your PRs are amazing and I'd love to hear how long and how much training it took to get you to lift that type of weight. I have never been this strong in my life. I have never in my life squatted 225 until I started this HWPO program because everything is based off percentages. I always thought I was strength training when I was bodybuilding, but I was never going off a 1 rep. I had never even done a 1 rep max. I didn't know what my 1 rep max was. The heaviest I had lifted was like 175 maybe. Now I can easily front squat that. I couldn't even front squat 135 when I was bodybuilding. Now I'm front squatting 185. It's insane. I have never been this strong. I really accredit that to CrossFit. Right now, in relation to my body, I'm really trying to focus on these types of numbers, like the weights going up in the gym. And like, I finally have shoulder muscles. Like, for so long, I was like, I can never grow my upper body. My back never grows. My shoulders never grow. My arms never grow. And now that they've actually grown, I'm like, wait, like, am I looking bulky? I know I'm not, but just compared to how small I was before, I trip myself out sometimes. And I'm like, I look horrible. I look disgusting. I look big and inflamed. And like, I think focusing more on rest and recovery is going to help me a lot. I went to get a massage and I was telling her that my jaw hurts. And she was like, you know what? Your jaw, if your jaw muscles are super tight from your traps, could be kind of blocking the fluid from being able to properly drain from your face. Like the lymphatic drainage might not be working in your face because your jaw is so tight. Side note. So recovery is so important. I also wanted to mention genetics. I hold most of my fat on my legs, my glutes. So if you guys want to start doing CrossFit, I'm not saying you're going to look like me or anything. If you're very upper body dominant, your shoulders and back and arms are probably going to grow. And if you're not super leg dominant, or you don't hold a lot of fat in your legs, or you don't hold muscle in your legs easily, they might not be as proportionate. Like, I don't want to tell you guys to start doing my training to look like me, because you will not. This just goes to show how important genetics is, because I still look like a bodybuilder. I don't look like a CrossFit girly. I feel like I'm not gonna see any progress because sometimes I only make it to the gym 3 times a week. No. 3 times a week is actually so good. What matters with this is that you are training hard on those 3 days. You might make more progress doing that than training 5 or 6 days a week and half-assing those training sessions. It's about quality, not quantity. Which specific HWPO program are you doing? I'm doing HWPO 60, and it's supposed to be 60 minutes, but it literally takes me 2 hours. Do you think your physique would be where it is at today if you didn't track macros to start with? Yes, I think it might even be better. Actually, I know my physique would be better or whatever if I didn't track macros, because I was doing a garbage job at it. I was binge eating every night. It was just horrible for my mental health. I was so unhappy. I hated using MyFitnessPal, but I felt literally trapped and that I couldn't stop using it. I think if I had never tracked macros or gone through any of that, and I just focused on eating healthy, nutritious whole foods, I don't think my digestion would have had any issues. Like, macros are not it. I don't want anyone thinking that because I tracked my macros at a certain point of time, that's what led to me to get a certain physique, because it is not. The tracking macros had nothing to do with it. I've clearly been talking for too long because my camera turned off. I feel like this video is going to be so annoyingly long, but if you want me to answer more questions about this, either comment them below or I can make a part 2, because I feel like I could talk about this type of stuff forever, clearly. So we're gonna wrap this up here. There is still a lot more questions here. I can do another question box on Instagram if that would be helpful. Let me know again what types of YouTube videos you guys like. I've been trying to eat more Greek yogurt. I actually just started eating it for gut health. It's a good hit of protein. Like, how much protein is in this? 17 grams of protein in 3/4 of a cup. That's amazing. I don't know what 3/4 of a cup looks like. A bit of this seed-wise. I'm using it basically as granola. This is just a quick little pre-workout snack. Blueberries I have rediscovered in yogurt. Cinnamon is a key ingredient. So much. I love cinnamon.
I changed into my gym outfit. Here's an example of my recent body shaming myself issues. I have been feeling quite, as I said, kind of inflamed, bloated. Like, you can even tell, my face just looks puffy. I have these deep, you can see how it's puffy right here under my eye, at the side. And this camera also softens everything. And then I'm so bloated. This is me standing completely normal, and it's just like this like low area right here. Like it's like, why? Why? So I don't know if I'm just very inflamed, if that's all inflammation, or if there's something going on in my digestive system. I don't know, but it's kind of been getting to me lately, and I'm not gonna blame CrossFit for that because I have no idea if that's the cause. It's very uncomfortable, and then I just feel like I'm not gonna have a good workout because I'm gonna be so uncomfy because this is painful. This is like pressure. I don't know if it's because I've been adding more new vegetables into my diet, or like I just had Greek yogurt and that is something that I don't usually eat. I'm trying to start eating it more, but I've had it like a couple times now. So it's like, I don't know if that's like throwing it off. I just feel like my problems are not big enough, and it's like, I don't know. I threw on a baggy tee and I already feel a million times better. I'm not even gonna tuck it in. I'm literally just gonna wear it to the gym like this. I swear, sometimes I have the best workouts when this is the fit. Like it's just, you're not even thinking about your body. You're not thinking about what you look like. So sweaty. Ew.
Turn your hands out, your body's gonna come back. It's almost like you're coming over a stop. Biceps close to your ears.